Hello, Wake Forest family. So, I want to make a plea for you to celebrate traditions. I'm thinking especially of you with young children, how important it is that they have some traditions, because trust me, you will be amazed when they grow older. The traditions will be what they remember. Here at Christmas time is the time we make traditions. We do this in our church, and I really want you to take advantage of making this a tradition, that you're a participant in the traditions our church celebrates. This coming Sunday will be Hanging of the Greens, probably the most special service of the whole year. And we're so glad that this year we're able to do it at 4:30 and 7 o'clock. The very next Wednesday, we have our all together, everybody get together Christmas celebration where we have a special meal from our incredible chef. We have just some really fun activities, and people look forward to that all year. And then, of course, the next Sunday is the cantata in the morning at 9 o'clock service. And then we wrap it all together with a Christmas Eve. Traditions. These are traditions in our church, such sacred, such special traditions that you need to be here in person to really get the full flavor of it. But I hope in your own home that you are making traditions as well. Yeah, I think about in some of the churches I pastored. A lot of churches, which was true of several churches I pastored, had the annual Christmas nativity drama. I remember as a child just hating to be the back end of a cow on a Christmas nativity play. That was my one and only time of starring in a drama. But we will be doing that here. And I think about in my very first church when I was in seminary. I love to tell this story. On a good Sunday, we had 20 people. It was a little church out in the middle of nowhere. But they were insistent on having a Christmas nativity play. And so the only teenager in the room became Mary. And then the only younger one in the room became the baby Jesus. And so when I was watching this that first Christmas Eve, watching this as the cast of characters came out, here comes a 13-year-old carrying a 6-year-old baby. And so I always think whenever I read about Mary being great with child, seeing that teenager bearing the load of a 6-year-old who was supposed to be pretending to be a baby, but they were going to make sure everybody was live, which was not the same as my first full-time church. In that church, they had for the baby Jesus a doll. And thankfully, it was the dress rehearsal. It wasn't the main performance. In the dress rehearsal, right in the middle of the most dramatic moment, the baby Jesus, his head fell completely off onto the floor. How do you rebound from something like that? But these are wonderful traditions. And yeah, in our home, week after next, my daughter will fly back in from Florida. My grandchildren and daughter and son-in-law will come in from Virginia, and we will gather around the tree. And we will do something that if it's the first time I don't cry, it'll be the first time. Because one thing that I grew up in, and I hated it so much when I was a child. Yeah, first of all, waiting for my brother to wake up Christmas morning. And that was bad enough. But then when we got around the tree, my dad would always insist on reading these words that began in those days. Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. And you know the rest of the story. As I became an adult and my dad was still living, I actually videotaped him reading that because I knew how special that was. And now I can never read that, and my children, my grandchildren will have to listen to me read the Christmas story before we open a single gift. And I hope that one day when I'm gone, that they will want to read the story and that it will continue to live on. Traditions are really, really special. And I invite you to consider what are the traditions that are revealing and celebrating the birth of Christ in ways that will continue to live on. So our church is offering you wonderful gifts, part of our tradition, and I hope it will be yours as well.